Hello everyone and welcome to your fourth yoga lesson with me. If we haven't met before, my name's Isabel. I'll be guiding you through your practice today. Today's learning intention and what we're looking for is placing all of the yoga lessons that we've learned thus far and putting them into a practice outside of our yoga mat. So what we tend to learn is when we step onto the yoga mat, we have this beautiful 1 hour practice that's really relaxing, calming, makes us feel zen, makes us feel peaceful. But then after that, we just go back to our normal lives. And when we get stressed or when we get worried or when we get too overexcited, we kind of just don't remember the tools that we've learned in that 1 hour lesson. So today's class theme and focus is learning what we've learned in the last 3 lessons and learning what we've learned today to help apply it to our wider community, to ourselves, maybe with our family, maybe within our school, maybe within, our sporting teams, using some of the things we've learned in our wider community. So to do that seems a little bit tricky, hey, and too good to be true, but I want you to see if you can focus today and maybe have some self-reflection and some inquiry about how you could take what we've learned, or maybe even if it's just 1 or 2 things, and maybe help foster it within your school, or maybe take it to your home, your family, or maybe you just use it for yourself. So when you are stressed or when you are nervous or worried or a little bit overexcited, you can use some of the tools to help calm your breath down, to help calm your body down so that you're able to think more clearly. All right, let's start by having our hands on our knees and we're going to take a seated meditation. Anytime you want to do a seated meditation and you feel like you just can't sit still, you can always lie down. That is an option for you. But just see if you could sit still. Maybe you could always place your back against the wall if you need it. And then begin to close down the eyes, soften through the breath. By softening through the breath, we want to see if we can draw it down towards the belly. If you can't close your eyes, that's fine. Just have a small little gaze, like you're peeking in hide and seek. Or that first moment you wake up in the morning and your eyes feel a little hazy. Maybe have that soft little gaze. And notice how your body feels as you sit here. Are you warm? Are you cold? Are you just right? And see if you can come back into your breath. When we sit in meditation, sometimes our mind isn't too peaceful. It runs away or it thinks about lots of different things. But then after meditation, we're calm, we're relaxed. So I invite you to think about how you could maybe draw in a little bit of meditation or just relaxing breath into your life. Maybe before you sleep, you focus in on holding your belly, just practicing the rise and fall of your stomach and your chest. Or maybe think about when you go for an exam or a test, something that's really important to you, and you begin to become nervous, worried, anxious, all those emotions that come up. And when we feel all those things, it's actually really hard to concentrate on the task. So it's not possible to be calm and stressed at the same time. So if you're stressed before a test or an exam or something very important to you, it's not possible to read the questions carefully. Or it's not possible to be nice and calm. So see here if you can focus in on your breath. Help calm your body down. Maybe could you use your breath in the wider community? So not just for today's lesson, but the lessons in life. Again, if you're becoming fidgety, that's perfectly fine. But see if you can let the fidgets just pass you by like the oceans of the waves of the oceans. Remember that nothing is perfect in life. We're always just learning, always just practicing. And being yourself is the most important tool in life. So focus in on the breath and calming down the body. Relaxing through the jaw here, relaxing through the breath. And then very gently, let's draw our hands to prayer at heart center. See if you can bow your head down to your heart space. And then in this moment, I want you to see if you can think of one or two things in your life where you could apply the yoga practice. So it doesn't have to be the moving, the poses. It could be just breath. It could be helping to relax your body. It could be helping out a friend. It could even be listening. Notice the sounds inside and out. Maybe the sound of your mind. Maybe the sound of your breath. Let's slowly from here bow our head to our heart space. If you would like to set an intention for the practice, your own intention, which is called a sankalpa, now is the opportunity to do so. Your intention could be moving mindfully, focusing in on breath, thinking about your wider community. Whatever it might be, draw towards it. And let's slowly from here begin to rub our hands, creating some friction. Begin to blink open the eyes. If you close your eyes for that amount of time, your eyes might feel a little funny. You might begin to look around and you sort of feel a little floaty but still calm. That's normal after meditation. If you felt fidgety the whole time, that's perfectly fine too. Begin to rub our hands together. And we're going to create like a little energy ball. So look towards your hands, create more friction, and then draw your hands out. Now they should begin to feel like there's energy in between them. And then maybe slowly moving it up and down. If you don't feel it, maybe trying once more. And then very gently from here, let's place it down to begin our practice. We're going to come into Tadasana, a mountain pose. So let's draw our hands down to the earth, push into our feet to draw our bodies up. Slowly from here, begin to move from side to side within the feet, within the body. And then see if you can close the eyes fully. You have to trust your body to remain still. And then begin to add in some gentle movement, swaying from side to side, moving through all corners of your feet, feeling how the feet feel here, and then moving another way. If you've already lost interest in the practice, challenge yourself to come back in. It is said we get distracted, no matter if you're a student, a child, or an adult, we get distracted every 3 to 5 seconds. So part of the yoga practice is when you notice the distractions coming, when you feel them happening, see if you can challenge your mind and your body to stay. Work past the distractions. And then slowly from here, let's find stillness in Tadasana, your mountain pose. Begin to ground down through the feet here. Sometimes part of the challenge with yoga is not always about all the amazing poses. Sometimes it's just standing still and noticing our breath. Notice when the fidgets arise. Notice when your mind goes crazy. And then see if you could just soften in a little bit, maybe softening the kneecaps, softening the breath, softening through the body. Let's draw our hands back to heart center. We'll step to the top of the mat. You can remain where you are, depending on your room and your space. We're going to come into Malasana, your yogi squat. This can be done upright, or it can be done lower down with me, depending on your hips and how your knees feel. From here, we don't want to crunch into our neck and our head. We want to lengthen through the spine. Remember that you could do this upright, you could do it seated on a chair, depending on how your body is. From here, begin to notice through the breath. Can you close down the eyes just for 3 seconds? Drawing back to the intention of the class. And then draw your left hand down to the earth, peel that right hand up. Right hand comes down, left hand peels up. It doesn't have to touch the ground, one more each side. And then slowly from here, place the hands down. We're going to scoot our left foot back and our right foot here. We're going to take some hip rolls, so don't worry about what you look like, which is quite common in yoga. A lot of people worry about what they look like. Can you just see if you can, for one moment, get into how your body feels? I remember I used to worry so much about what I looked like, if I was doing it perfectly right, if I'd be able to balance properly. None of that matters. What actually matters is how you move your body in space, connect to your breath, and how you take what you've learnt from your yoga mat into your wider community. And then slowly from here, let's draw our knees down. Take a couple rounds of cat-cow, what we should be used to. As we inhale to lift the head, chest, shine that heart forward. And then exhale, tuck that belly button towards spine. Few more here. It's an inhale to lift for your cow pose, and it's an exhale to round. Wide spread the fingers is so important within our yoga practice, so we shouldn't have fingers touching. Notice how your body feels here as you move, and then slowly draw back. We're going to draw our right knee out and our right foot out. Maybe this is where you stay, or maybe you draw that left arm out. Left elbow to right knee, extend out. 5 more rounds, but if your body only feels like doing 3, you could just do 3. You have the option in yoga to make it more challenging, to make it less challenging, and then draw that arm and that foot down. Let's draw our left leg out and hold. Flex the toes down towards the mat. And then draw that right hand up. Bend through your right elbow, which is called flexion, and bend your left knee. Few more rounds as you extend that right arm. And then very gently extend out and lower down. From here, we're going to come into a kneeling position. From your kneeling, draw your hands up as you inhale, extend the arms, and exhale, draw your head down to the earth. Inhale to lift back up, and exhale to draw down. Remember, inhale is a breath in, exhale is a breath out. Drawing up one more here as you inhale to lift, and exhale, draw down. We're going to slowly draw our bodies up, tuck the toes, move back, downward facing dog. Ankles are not together, feet are not as wide as the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Bend your knees as much as you need. I don't want to see anybody in their wrists. So you've got to bend those knees, lengthen through the spine. Nod your head yes or no. And then gently from here, we're going to draw our right leg up and hold. Draw your right knee towards your left elbow. It does not need to touch. Draw it towards right elbow. You've got this. Stay with me. Draw it back. Draw it in towards the chest, push the earth away, then step that right foot forward, left foot down. Anjali Asana, your low lunge. Take a moment here to find your stability. Through the hips, maybe you sink a little deeper, bending through that right knee called flexion as you draw your hands up to extend. When it's challenging, do you give up or do you focus in on your breath to help see you through the practice? Then slowly from here, draw your hands forward, draw them back. Few more rounds. This is what I mean by coming into that thoughts about our wider community. How, when something is hard, do we run away or do we go, oh, I can't do that, that's too challenging? The more that we focus in on our breath, the more that we concentrate within that moment and not get distracted, the more that we're able to do something. Slowly from here, you're going to inhale to lift and exhale, draw your hands down to the earth. You might find that this is a really good stretch for the back of the leg. Take a breath in as right toes flex, heading towards that right knee. Remember, your head doesn't need to come down towards that knee. So just lengthen through the spine here. And then see if you can create a bit of spinal flexion, creating a little bend through the spine. That's okay as we relax our neck and head. Maybe nod it yes or no. Now you should feel this quite strong on the back here. Plant down that right foot. Right foot's going to come to the outside of that right mat. Scoot that left leg forward. Malasana Yogi Squat. Remember, it can be done upright. Few counts of breath here. Maybe closing the eyes and connect deep to the breath. And then draw your hands back here. Slowly, we're going to push all the way back to downward facing dog. If you're like me and you're on carpet, it might be a little slippery for you. So just being mindful as you move here. Take that inhale as that left leg rises. Left knee towards right elbow. Draw it back. Left knee towards that left elbow. Draw it back. Left knee in towards the chest, push the earth away as that left foot steps forward. Right foot drops down as right knee drops as well. Squaring through the hips as best as you can. Maybe you stay here or maybe you sink a little deeper. Draw the hands up as you inhale. Inhale to draw forwards, exhale to draw back. Find that concentration, not to get distracted about how you look. Move through your body, move through your breath. You've got this. Stay with it. Remember, I'm not with you to get you engaged into the practice. So that all comes from you, your ability to want to try. Inhale to lift up here. We're going to draw our hands down. You could be onto fingertips or flat palms. Slowly from here, take an inhale as that left leg scoops back. Relaxing here as you lengthen through the spine for a moment, feeling the stretch through the back of our leg. Then maybe you create a bit of flexion here with your spine, so curving the spine. Flexing the toes towards you. Few counts of breath. And then slowly draw that left foot to the corner of the mat, coming into that Malasana Yogi Squat. So push off the earth to draw your bodies up. Slowly from here, we're going to draw our hands down to the earth, coming into a plank. Plank could be done upright or it could be done on your knees, your choice. Slowly, if you're with me, I'm on plank up top. We'll gently shift our weight forward. Relax your neck and head. Squeeze the glutes. Don't want to see anyone dumping into their lower back or arch reaching up. And slowly shift the weight forward and lower for 3, 2, 1. That breath in for Sphinx. Remember, you have a choice, Sphinx or upward facing dog. Hips are off the earth. Knees could be down on the ground, but hips are off. And exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Lengthen through the spine, widespread fingers, feet are hip distance apart. Slowly from here, draw your right leg up as you inhale. Right knee draws in towards the chest, push the earth away, right foot steps forward. Take your time. Remember, if it doesn't get there, catch hold of it, draw it with you. Left foot draws down. Warrior one as you rise. Right knee is bent, left foot is turned in so your hips could square to the front. Slowly from your warrior one, draw your right hand forward. Left foot draws back, warrior two. Flip the front palm, exhale, windmill to reverse. Warrior two here is you pivot on the back foot, high lunge. Watch the tracking of your feet, so I don't want to see anyone dumping too low. It's that length. Draw the hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Lifting up. We're going to come into a bit of a balance pose. So if it's hard, you could just drop your foot down for a moment. Get your standing position right. We're going to come into warrior three, then tree, as you scoot that left leg back. You've got this. Don't worry if you fall out of the practice. It's a bit like falling out of life. You can just come back in. From your warrior three, find your tree, not on the knee joint, as you draw your hands up. One more. Stay with me. Left leg draws back. Part of the challenge is staying in the practice. Doesn't matter if you can or can't do something. It's a practice because we're always practicing. Drawing the hands to heart center. Left foot draws down. Give your legs a bit of a wobble here from side to side. Slowly take an inhale as you rise the hands up. And exhale, dive down to the earth. Let it go. Nod that head, yes or no. Sway from side to side here. Take an inhale for your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. So we don't want to see any crunching in the shoulders. We want to find length, pushing our hands in towards our shin. And exhale, fold, let it go. Plant the hands, step back with me for a flow. Remember, plank could be done on the knees, your choice. If you're with me, lifting up as we shift our weight forward to lower. That breath in for Sphinx, or that upward facing dog, your choice. And exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. Few counts of breath here. Take an inhale as your left leg rises high. Draw that left knee towards the left elbow. Draw it back. Draw it in towards the chest. Draw it back. Draw it in between the hands. Step it forward. Made a little bit of an extra challenge there. Slowly shift your right foot forward, coming into your warrior one. I don't want to see anyone's back heel off the earth because that's practically a high lunge. So we want to see that foot down, squaring the hips to the front as you inhale to lift. Staying there. Warrior two now. In your warrior two, spread out the mat with your feet. Left palm flips as you inhale. Windmill to reverse as you exhale. Warrior two now. Pivot on the back foot. High lunge. So if you feel wobbly, find your steadiness. Pivot the back foot. Draw up. Remember, warrior three to tree. As hands draw to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Gently push the earth away. You can bend as much as you need in that left knee. Nothing's perfect, so just practicing. As we draw the hands out, draw them up for your tree. And then gently draw it back here. Doesn't matter if the leg doesn't extend all the way out. And then slowly one more warrior three. And then draw it back, tree. Gently lowering it down as we inhale to rise the hands up and exhale, heart center. Hands by your side for your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Close the eyes here. Notice the body, notice the breath. Now see in this moment where your heart is racing, your breath is risen high, see if you could draw it down towards the belly to help calm your nervous system. And then very gently from here, drawing the hands to heart center. We'll come into one more standing balance. And in our standing balance, we're going to be focusing on drawing our left foot over our right leg. So when you think about this, we don't want to think about putting all of our weight onto the knee. We want to think about putting it up towards the thigh. All right, from here, find your dristy point that's not moving. Left leg draws up. Draw that left foot over your right. Maybe this is where you stay, or maybe you sink a little deeper. Left toes flex towards the knee. If it begins to hurt your knee, don't go down any further. You can gently straighten that leg and lower it down. All right, draw that right leg up here. And draw it over the top of left. Doesn't matter if you fall, I promise. Because we always fall. It's about coming back in. Draw your bodies up and lower. All right, let's step to the top of the mat and sweep the floor for a chair pose. From your chair, tippy toes as you lower. All right, well, I hope we're feeling all okay so far. We are almost towards the end of our lesson. So we're going to stretch and relax our body, but before we do, I want to take a short seated meditation. Now, if your body goes, oh, I don't want to do that, see if you can change that mindset, because a lot of the time when we sit like this, we don't have a great attitude to our learning because we're already feeling a bit bored. So we want to lengthen here and elevate through the chin. All right, it's all about through our mindset. When we say we can't do something or we don't want to, we won't be able to do it. But if we switch our mindset to I can or I'll try, that's when the change happens. That's when your yoga practice will take off into your everyday life. All right, closing the eyes down here. And if you're super fidgety, you could lie down. But remember, challenge yourself, challenge your mindset. Closing down through the eyes and noticing the breath. Now, even yoga is about moving, creating shapes, doing poses. How could you take what you've learned into your everyday life? And whatever you thought of there first was perfect. No need to change it. And hold that thought. You might write that down on a piece of paper at the end of class. You might share it with a friend or a family member, or maybe your teachers. Remember that you can make a difference within the world. One person can do great things. Slowly from here, drawing your hand to your heart, your hand to your belly, connecting into the different rhythms of both. See if you can inflate your belly like a balloon and deflate it. Your breath is always there for you. And then very gently from here, drawing your hands down. We'll come to lie down to take a couple of stretches and cool down through the body. But first, let's draw our bodies up. Take an inhale and exhale, gently lower. 3 more. Last one, wherever your hands meet, take the fold. Remember, we're not trying to reach towards our toes. Nod your head yes or no. And then gently lowering down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come into a little bit of an inversion. So hips stay down on the earth. Draw your legs up. Your knees could be bent. If you're like me and you've got a big bun within your head, maybe taking out your hair if you need to. And then your abdominals are working to hold your legs up in space, but see if you could just let your legs be floaty. So that means you're not controlling them to stay upright. This is a really great one if you struggle to sleep at night. Here for a few more moments. When it's challenging, concentrate in that I can or I will try. And then we're going to come into what's called happy baby as we bend our knees. Option 1 is to hold underneath the kneecaps or hold the outer edges of the feet or the big toes. What I don't want to see is your whole lower back off the ground. So doing what you need wherever you hold. Few counts of breath here. And then very gently from here, we'll draw our legs over to the left for a gentle spinal twist. Your head and neck could be in any direction that feels right for you. If you want more here, you would draw that right leg over the top of left. But it's not down here like this. It would be over the top if you want more. That left hand could draw around to that right leg. That right hand draws out and close down the eyes. Then very gently drawing the legs up over to the right side. And then very gently from here back to center. We'll draw the soles of the feet together, knees out wide, making sure that you've got enough space wherever you are, drawing the arms out, allowing the body to soften. Now the eyes will always fight to stay open. Create that challenge with yourself to close the eyes. We're what's called coming into our parasympathetic nervous system. When we help our body to calm down by focusing in on breath, by focusing in on softening through our thoughts, softening through our minds, softening through our bodies. We're always so busy throughout our days. And when we're in our yoga practice, it's about stopping, noticing, slowing down, and then seeing if what we learned we can apply in our everyday life. Slowly draw the legs long here. I'm going to give you an option to stay lying down flat for 3 minutes or to come up in a seated meditation with me. You have a choice. Remember, do what feels good for you, not for anybody else. And allowing the body to just drop into the mat or into the floor. Feel supported by the earth as it supports you. And if you're sitting up with me but you're playing with the floor or you're hunched into your spine, take a moment to come out of the distractions and into the present moment. If you are on your back, very gently begin to draw some awareness back in, wiggling fingers and toes, small movement back through the body. If you're in a seated meditation with me, keep concentrating where you are. And then slowly, if you're on your back, rolling to your favorite side, pushing into your hand to slowly come up. And if you've fallen asleep, that's okay. These things happen. Drawing your hands to heart center in prayer, Anjali Mudra. Remember that what we do on our mat can come with us to our everyday life. You are important. You are valued. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste. Namaste, everyone.